What's going on, everybody? Matt Wichlinski, the Consummate Athlete, TSSathletics.com. I'm here with my good friend, Chris. Introduce yourself.
How you doing? Chris Dillon, New Health Strategies. How are you?
All right.
Okay, it's morning.
We've talked a few times already. This is maybe our third or fourth conversation here. And the fitness pollution?
Yeah, that was great. It was great. A lot of people, there was a lot of good feedback on that one.
Okay.
Because I think we were just open and honest.
Right.
And also, the people want, you always interviewing people. I think people want to see you being interviewed and hear your feedback on a lot of stuff. So I think it was really good. Right on.
Well, I respect your opinion. We have a slightly different background, so it's good. It's good to share our opinions and views from different sports performance background or holistic background. So we're trying to find a good blend of finding health and wellness as well as enhanced performance. So this one's going to be slightly different than normal, and I'm glad to talk to you today. We're talking about increasing women's performance, health and wellness from a female perspective. This is not something I have a ton of experience with. I've worked with a handful of women over the last several years, but the overwhelming majority of my clients have been male, high school and college age male, and you have a little more experience here, so I'm happy to get your opinion. Apologize, my phone's ringing. So I made a video a couple weeks ago about TSS women's workout, and I had women doing snatches and two different girls doing two different kinds of snatches based on their abilities. Jackie was doing snatches with a barbell. Sarah was doing snatches with kettlebells. And it was depending on their goals and their abilities. Sarah was working with kettlebells with higher reps. It's a little bit easier to learn, in my opinion, and she could get more work in, more overall volume, probably burn more calories. And Jackie was working on technique and trying to get explosive power. They have different body types, and they have slightly different goals, so they did essentially the same workout. They were both snatching to start out the workout, and then it went to clean and jerks and squats and different things. But so it started with the general same template, but how we executed varied depending on their goals and their abilities.
Exactly.
So that kind of brought up some attention and brought on a lot of questions from a lot of your clients and fans, and just friends on the online community and mine as well. So starting from there, let's go into some of your thoughts, my thoughts as well. What are some of the differences between training male and female clients? You think there's anything major, or we're all people? If we take our skin off, we all have eyeballs, we all have blood and muscles. Should we just train the same, or do we train different?
Well, it's a great question, and Paul Chek has a course called Training Females. It's called Equal but Not the Same, and it's true. We're all equal, but we're not the same. It's he emphasizes that men are like trucks. We could take a pounding, go hard. Women are more like Ferraris. They're very delicate, beautiful, and fast. So you have to treat them differently. But, the thing is with working with women, I mean, from my experience, I've done more of the rehabilitative, nutritional, and more of just general fitness compared with you work. And I think work with the people that follow you are more conditioned athletes. Mm-hmm. You have people like Nia Shanks, you have Joy Bixby, you have, different women are very experienced athletes, well conditioned. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have to look. I mean, for this video, and people who are watching it, they're trainers or just overall people who just want to learn about understanding how the physiology works. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we have to look at. And one thing is their physical makeup. I mean, how their posture is, how they perform is a big difference. Because most women that I've dealt with usually have bad posture due from sitting down, carrying babies. Breast implants, believe it or not, when you have breast implants, you think that you're carrying that light weight, that 1 gram of weight can actually, it's more than 1 gram, but
some of them are.
The theory is that 1 gram of weight can push. If it's on a continual push, it can transfer that energy and, your body position. You ask a lot of women.
Really quick, just going on that, just kind of give somebody an idea of what you're talking about. I remember someone talking about it. They were basically saying when you have like your head you walk. Some people have like this forward, like, and they walk like this. It's like every inch that your head is forward, it's like 10 pounds of force on the spine or whatever. So these people that walk and they sit like that, their heads forward, their shoulders are rounded forward.
Right.
Every inch that you're going forward is like another 10 pounds of force where it doesn't need to.
Yeah, you multiply. I mean, you think of your head weight is 8% of your body weight. Mm-hmm. The thing is, women have weaker neck stabilizers than men. So even regardless if you have a 150-pound man and a 150-pound woman, a 150-pound woman is going to have less strength in her neck to stabilize. Mm-hmm. So you're right. The head is forward 1 inch. You're carrying that weight. Now it's 1% more. So say the head is 150. So just make it 15 pounds to make it easy.
Right.
Every inch is over would be 30 pounds. 3 inches would be 45 pounds of weight. So yeah, you're looking at all the stress of just carrying that. Plus with the hair. I mean, believe it or not, if you have long hair, that weighs a lot. It could weigh a pound. I mean, that continual weight adds stress to the body.
Right, and you're right. It's like people thinking hair doesn't weigh anything, but we're talking about accumulated seconds of every second of your life. It turns out to be thousands and millions of seconds over time. So I see what you're getting at, and the whole point that you were saying at first. The breasts. That's the major difference between men and women. We have to, consider that that's a lot of extra weight. Just
I mean, think about when you wear braces. I mean, your braces are on for how long to move your teeth? You don't feel your teeth moving, but they're on there for years, and that's the same thing. You have that continual stress. It slowly pushes those muscles or the ligaments or cartilage or whatever part of the body that's being stressed upon is going to address it. So, I mean, those are little things, but you have to look at. Their hormonal issues, the nutritional issues, their lifestyle, things like that, and also the muscle fibers. I think the biggest fear, and I know this question has been brought to you, but women are afraid. I'm afraid to get big. I don't want to get muscular.
Right.
And you really understand, women don't have that much testosterone compared to men. Men have 10 times as much as testosterone. So, I mean, just to get that big, I mean, you see these bodybuilder women because the reason they look like that is, they're taking androgens. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. I mean, you ever look at a female bodybuilder, I mean, their face is rugged and their bodies change because of the hormones that they're taking. But for a woman to get that big and that strong, it would take so much time, energy, that it's really hard to do. And you have to spend hours and hours in the gym, eating, just to even accumulate that. And when a woman starts to see muscle, it's not that they're getting bigger, they're just getting leaner.
And tighter, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to test is actually measure their body composition. Mm-hmm. After 8 weeks, see what they're at. And you believe that they might look bigger, but they're actually getting smaller.
Now, you see, that's just it. You're saying after 8 weeks, then you do the test. The problem is getting people to work hard enough for that 8 weeks. It's hard enough to get them to do it. The ones that are doing it, they get it. And we commend you, ladies, for doing an amazing job, for actually picking up some deadlifts and trying to get stronger. CrossFit's done a great job of trying to get people to actually do real work, and a lot of these other gyms and people out there that are getting people to do real work. That's amazing. Some women are buying into it. There's still probably a lot more that just don't get it yet. And they still kind of maybe focus on smaller muscle groups. I just want to tone my arms and things like that. But you just can't get the full body. And it's also, if you look at it, that's how bodybuilders train, is isolating one body part at a time to smash one body part. We're going to do this muscle, then that muscle. But if you train like a full body, you can actually lift more weight in a deadlift or, a squat or major compound exercise like that. You can lift more weight, but because you're getting the full body at one time, you actually get everything gets leaner and tighter and more like systematized, or like a total unit. So it makes everything leaner. But if you train one body part at a time, it's almost like you pump one thing up and keep pumping up things, and that's how you get like that bodybuilder look. It's like that bulky, like individual, like segmentized, like body shape.
You're right. I mean, it's funny because I think the past 20 years we've seen a huge growth of women training, especially now in the last 5 years. I mean, it's great that women are, getting to the gym, exercising, even if it's doing CrossFit or whatever it is. I mean, most women I'd seen when I was growing up, they would just go right for the machines. Mm-hmm. And when you train on machines, you're training your prime movers. You're just changing the body, like you were saying, just the body parts, and you're weakening your stabilizers.
Because they don't have to do anything.
And so they're actually becoming weaker and setting themselves for hurting themselves.
Right.
Women have smaller joints. They have wider hips, which is what you call Q angle. And that, when you look at the position of the Q angle, you put more strain on the joints of the body because they're designed to have give birth. If you look at a slender athlete, a football player, I mean, they got thin hips. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just designed to handle that kind of stress. So, you're looking at, like I said, the difference between a truck and a Ferrari. You know what I mean? And I think women should really focus on what you're saying. The primal patterns of movement. Deadlifts, squats, lunges, push, pull, bend, twist, all those things to get full muscle, activity. Because you were sitting on the machines, you really are weakening your stabilizers and you're setting yourself up for back pain, joint pain, things like that.
Now, you're saying women should focus on the primal patterns: squat, lunge, deadlift, push, pull, twist. But that's the same as men. Men should focus on all that as well. So how's it any different? Like, what's the main difference?
Well, my point was that most women I felt were always going towards the machine
as opposed to,
and you never see a woman deadlift as much. But now things are different now, especially with, I think in the last 5-7 years you see a lot more women now doing the CrossFit and full, which is I think it's a great thing that's happening. But I think going back to the thing about the thing that makes sense about going about muscle growth, women are predominantly slow twitch fibers. I mean, they have a lot more slow twitch muscle fibers than men. So slow twitch is very hard to hypertrophy. They don't get as big. Now, fast twitch muscle